going to the game Friday night? Yeah. 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 Hey. It's all for the. Three times in a row, so, you know, yeah. They are, yes, so obviously, guys, they can actually, 77 open, set up. So there's paved access, that's how you know now, right, like I said, and then, yeah, I think there's a number of funding. That the next vote is supposed to be, it's not be done, yeah, but I can go to schools. Without things like if you know, it's not be great, it's just smooth out, that's just like.
Yes, it's so is. We keep trying to set it all this year. Do my show. Yeah. Just being honest. So it's just.
Go back. All right, this one. That was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
We're almost there.
We're right on top, we're just
Sorry, it's very difficult to set that clock and have it keep time.
It's up there.
Well, no, it's through the computer,
Oh, is it? Okay.
but when you can't change the time on the computer based on your IT people,
Yeah.
very different.
You just take time up there and pick it up, turn.
I did 6:30, I call the meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public participation. Excuse me. If you'd like to speak to council, please fill out a form and hand it to Shannon. Please indicate on the form if you wish to speak during discussion on a specific agenda item. Remember, council members are not allowed to answer questions during public participation. Please state your name and address for the record if you haven't.
I have not received any requests.
Appointed representative liaison, Denton County Emergency District 1.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Chief Wall was not able to attend tonight due to scheduling conflicts with the EZ Commissioners meeting. Normally it's on a Thursday, but with the holidays coming up. So today was actually the best day for everybody, so he had to attend that meeting. So since I was coming down here anyway, regarding the first ranch, if there's any question on that, we can deal with that, but I told him I would be here, so he asked me just to pass a few things along. What's going on lately? Fire truck Santa was here at Bartonville yesterday. I was told, I wasn't there, but I was told it was a big turnout. Back, down to the Braceford States and all that stuff. That's what I was told. I wasn't there, so so it was a good turnout for it. Beside that, for the November food drive, we collected 437 pounds of food and to donate to the food bank. So so that was a good event that happened there. So and the last thing I want to say is the Sadie's toy drive ended today. We collected a lot of toys, and this is pretty much year to year. It's gotten bigger and bigger, so it's still a strong, drive that we've been doing every year, so it's been really good. Beside that, the last thing I wanna say is kind of a little update on Station Five, what has happening so far. The manufacturer up in Canada has received all of their permits, so, they're back on track. They've been having meetings with Chief Juan on a weekly basis, kind of give us a status update. Looks like they're gonna ship the first half of the containers early March, and the second half will be towards the end of March. And then they're gonna start putting everything together, and from what I'm getting, if everything falls in line, May is the official, sometime in May will be the official opening of the station. And so far, it's looking that route. So, like I said, we're crossing our fingers on that. Beside that, I really don't have anything to say. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, well, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, because I'm sure we won't be seeing each other to the beginning of the year.
Thank you, Monica. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Police Department, Chief Riggs.
Mayor, council, good evening. I also want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, I don't see, and a Happy New Year. I won't be here. I'm on vacation. So if we look at our packet, this was a low number this year, first lowest number we've had for calls for service, one at 88. And we did have, we continue to have an increase, it looks like, other than 1 month or 2 months this year on accidents. We had 8 this past month. The majority of those obviously at 407. That's where we have most of our accidents, as you're fully aware. On the call, unified, our UCRs, we did have 3 Part 1 crimes this year or this month. We had the robbery at the 7-Eleven, and then we also had 2 larcenies with credit program. We had 123 traffic stops, and we also were able to implement the Axon translator that y'all approved. That went into effect December 1st, so they're getting trained and we'll be able to start utilizing out on the street. And we also have one that we can utilize here in court or for administrative purposes when we have somebody come in that doesn't speak English. And just to remind you, that was like 50 different languages. So we're very proud to put that out. Thank you for approving that. And our officers are excited to start maybe using that. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
A translator, is that something that's just recently been made available?
You know, council, I believe it's been, Axon that comes out with different products. I believe I saw this at ICP probably 4 years ago, so it's been a while. So it's been out there. It's just one of those extra modules that they do have, but it's one of those that they have somebody out there. They have ones that will write a report for you. Which we don't take enough reports if, and it will do, there's so many out there, and this is just one that's very useful for us.
The reason I asked about, we go on national news late at night, even starts at 11 o'clock, 11:30, repeat of an evening. It was a big item they had listed, I think it was an ABC, and they were talking about, some of the officers that were visiting with was talking about they just were utilizing that, and what a great benefit that was, not just until you brought it up, I never knew that was existed, but evidently it's catching on nationwide.
Beneficial, very helpful.
It is, Axons, like I said, we selected the best, body worn camera, because they have so many different products out there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a very important question to ask. I really like the patch. Who designed those?
Yes,
Actually, I think it was collaborative effort. The lieutenant did reach out to our badge company and said, hey, and the other officer were involved. And they came back with this about a month or so ago and said, Chief, what do you think? I said, I think it's a great idea. So we got some really good feedback.
Looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief?
No.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Administration Shannon?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We are reviewing November 2025, which is the second month fiscal year that we are currently in. As of today, the bank balances for the general fund is $4,007,282.33. The balance for the reserve bank account is $841,749.15. That includes the transfer that we spoke about when we found the extra money from the tax note. And so a total of $183,644.80 was transferred into that account on November 11th. So we are making strides to get to your goal of $1 million in that bank account.
And we're gonna start making that a line item or something so we can see it.
Yes, I've got notes to be talking to the mayor. I'll have a slide next month added into this, and I'll give you the bank balance and the interest earned for that account.
Thank you, Greg.
The next page is page 21, where it's all general fund revenues. Total revenue collected in November totaled $180,575.62, representing an increase of $5,139.60 compared to the same period last year. So November 24 to November 25, there was an increase in revenue of almost $1,500. The next page, which is the sales tax collection. The town's portion of sales tax revenue received in October totaled $127,739.29. And that was reflecting September sales activity. This brought the 12-month average to $82,636, which was an increase of $5,242 from the prior month. That's why you see the uptick on the graph. Do we have any questions before I move on?
That dip is where the quarterly payment went.
That's where when we didn't have it and it went down to the last month was the dip because we were low.
Okay.
All general fund expenditures. Total expenditures overall between the administration, police, municipal court and transfers was $201,178.96. That left 84.62% of the overall budget remaining. And that aligns with the anticipated spending pace of approximately 8.3% a month, which works for expenditures and revenue that we want to try to get. In addition to several annual expenses have already been paid, as we spoke about last month, the dispatch and the radios. And also, I forgot to mention last month that our insurance policy with the Texas Municipal Government Risk Pool, we decided this year to pay it as an annual payment instead of quarterly to save 2%. It was only $750, but it's $750 saved. And so that was, instead of quarterly, we would have paid $9,100, but we paid the $36,523, which is gonna go into the next page that I'm gonna talk about, which is administration. Administration department reported expenditures of $89,759.48 in November, leaving 87.34% of the department budget remaining. This is slightly above the expected benchmark of approximately 84 remaining after 2 months of the fiscal year. Again, that's going back to 8.3% that you want to expend in a month, but which is mostly for a lot of the account plans, but some of them, like our contracts when they're annual and stuff like that, it's not a good benchmark for every month. But when you overall, you kind of want to look at that, and that shows you where you're pretty aligned to the budget. And if you notice on here, we were talking to the mayor and she brought up the year-to-date variance between November of last year and then November of this year. There was a variance of $50,420 between the 2 years, and it's attributed to the following changes that we've had in this year, including the annual payment I just told you of our insurance payment, but salaries and benefits. That was $5,800 for TML, and then another $18,500 for increased salaries and moving chief all into admin. And then other expenses, there was a decrease of $400. Contracted services was almost $9,000, and that was higher costs were associated with the multitude of planning submissions that we've had in the last 2 months. And then bringing a new planner on board and her having to go through those multiple, and then also reviewing the code of ordinances for where we need to see that we need to start doing some updates. And then, the next main one was capital improvements, which was about, $14,900. And those expenses were related to sod and irrigation improvements. So that's the difference in comparison between year to date. And I want to again thank the mayor for bringing that to our attention so we can start looking at good points.
Thanks for the breakdown.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions before I move on to police? Okay, on the police side, they expended $68,826.67 in November. And they left us about 81.10% of the department budget remaining, which is close to the benchmark, but again, we've already paid all of our contracts for PD, so it's gonna even out for this year's consider. And then their year-to-date variance was $40,252. And it's due to salary and benefits, which 19,000 of that was the insurance annual payment. And the salaries was $5,400. And then maintenance went up, it increased 5,500, which is, we have a new IT vendor that actually bills us month to month. And last year we only had 1 month of contracted services. And then also Brazos increased their annual maintenance line back. And the contracted services, which we talked about, well, that was $10,100 over, and the suppliers is about $5,000. So that explains the difference, 40,000 between PD. Councilmember Sands, it looks like you're gonna ask a question. Nope. Okay, well then, that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody that contributed and helped in the breakout challenge. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Shannon, for jumping in there and filling in. Spending the day up here.
I enjoyed all of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Excuse me. This agenda consists of non-controversial housekeeping items required by law. Items may be approved with a single motion. Items may be removed from the consent agenda by any council member by making such a request prior to motion or vote on the consent agenda. Number 1, consider approval of November 18, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Sorry. Approve the November 18, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you said.
I did, I'm sorry, that was me.
I was waiting.
Choking on my words.
Oh, you carry 5-0. Thank you.
So the most courteous moment I've seen.
F, public hearings and regular items, discuss and consider final plat for High Plains at First Ranch, Phase 4B, encompassing approximately 48.341 acres of property situated in Pinson Wells. Survey, abstract number 1539, in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the town of Bartonville, Denton County, Texas. The property is located generally east of State Highway 377 between Keith Road and Smoot Lane. The applicant is GM Civil on behalf of the owner, Royal Cap V1 LLC. Town of Bartonville, file number FP 2025-004. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval with conditions by a vote of 5-0 at its December 3rd, 2025 meeting. Staff presentations.
Mayor, I recuse myself from this issue.
Thank you.
No, you're right, it shouldn't work.
Tricia's gonna do the presentation.
It wouldn't work last time.
No, we don't have to take them there and coffee this time.
Good. All right, so this is Mayor Council, this is the High Plains at First Ranch Phase 4B final plat. This basically the project location east of State Highway 377 between Keith Road and Smoot Lane. It's about 48 acres. This on September 16, 2025, the town council approved a revised preliminary plat for High Plains at First Ranch. It reconfigured some roads and access for the overall property, and construction has already begun over there in various phases of the development. The applicant has submitted its final plat application for Phase 4B, which has about 111 residential lots and 4 non-residential lots. property is located within extraterritorial jurisdiction of Bartonville. So there's no land use or zoning designations that apply to the property. It has been utilized as agriculture. It is currently undeveloped and it is located within a municipal utility district. So staff reviewed the final plat and they had following observations that will be conditions and that the P and Z approved as conditions. Town references need to be updated on the plat to reflect town Flower Mound, town of Argyle, or town of Argyle ETJ, and the town of Bartonville or town of Bartonville ETJ. And then the applicant needed to verify those locations on the final plat to ensure accuracy. Denton County Emergency Services District 1 has requested that approval of the final plat be given, subject to a condition that emergency access in and out of the site meets the International Fire Code requirements and is maintained in a compliant manner. The town of Bartonville's development ordinance requires compliance with all adopted ordinances and regulations for plat approval. So the final plat, as presented, aligns with the town standards, is recommended for conditional approval with those two conditions, pending resolution of the specific conditions outlined in the recommended conditions of approval. So planning and zoning met, and they did move approval, subject to the two conditions that you see listed on the screen, which are the references being verified and corrected and cleaned up, and that emergency access compliant with the International Fire Code being provided and maintained.
And I just want to make sure everyone understands that number 2 with emergency access for ESD has nothing to do with them coming through our town. Because I've had some calls on that, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that. It had it right on, it has to do with, emergency access off 377 and ESD needs to know everything.
Yes, ma'am. So,
How to get in and out.
yes, ma'am. It had nothing to do with the access to the tap, that's right. All that is stating that because of the size of the development, you need more than one access. So we're gonna give them permission to move forward, but, if they stay between, under 30 homes, we could have one access point. Anything over that, if house number 31 is going vertical, then the second access has to be in place. And that's all that is.
Just want everyone to understand that.
Is there any other clarification?
Probably a question, I'm not sure who's probably for us, we already discussed this yet, or? We,
The first plat?
yes.
Mhm.
On that second one, should we spell out that that's not, that emergency access is off of 377 and not? Because we were a hard no on the street they wanted to go down. And I just wouldn't want to get in a situation where there's any ambiguity at all in that.
Do we have the actual plat, like we said, plat, do we have the actual plat where we can see where that road ingress egress is located?
I don't have that to access to that in here.
This doesn't have, I see that one of these had.
I'm just thinking, if we know where it's gonna be, maybe we just spell that out and put a box around it.
Do we have that?
We have the developer here to answer any questions, so.
Yeah.
Did you want to come up
Sure,
here?
yeah, I can. Me, Mayor, Council, Jason Weaver with GM Civil, 2559 Southwest Grapevine Park, Grapevine. Yeah, so one of the documents that y'all approved was the preliminary plat for the whole development. That actually, as part of that approval, it actually showed the access point through Smoot and back over to 377 as part of, that process. And then obviously when we did the first final plat for phase 1, we dedicated that easement that connected from the phase 1 plat to Smoot Lane to give that access. So that's a temporary all-weather access for that secondary access point. So we're working with ESD to maintain that road. There's some potholes and things that have been done on Smoot now, just from construction traffic, but we're at that point where they're gonna start cleaning that up. But we do have paved access from 377 now that connects into the development. So I think what Mom was mentioning was on this specific 4B final plat. As it sits right now, there's only one paved access to it on the southeastern corner. There will be another one with 4A that's under construction right now, so there will actually be 2 points of access into this specific little pod. But ultimately, just Smoot Lane, that will serve as the second point of connection until there's actually paved access. But there's the first Ranch in Flower Mound, there's activity that's moving on that, that's gonna start making that paved access actually get here probably quicker than we were anticipating, you know. Sure, everybody's heard about the HEB and everything that's supposed to be coming down there, so there's some infrastructure and stuff that they're going through, so. I think over time that temporary access with the all-weather section, you know, will go away quicker than, you know, what we were planning probably 2 years ago.
So when we originally did the development agreement or worked with them on it, we wanted to make sure they didn't have access off of Glenview into our town. And I think what he's talking about is he wants to make sure it's in writing.
Yeah,
And number 2 states that's what that's about. It's about Smoot Lane and 377 and not the
and I don't have a problem if that's rewritten and be able to change that condition, and then, yeah, I mean, that's what we've agreed to, so yes, so yeah, it's really. That access up through Glenview, through Liberty Christian, that's not what it's about, that's correct.
So would we want to deny this motion or revise number 2? How do we?
You can either,
Condition?
you can either amend the motion, or if you wanna just start over, you can withdraw the second and withdraw the motion.
Cause when that become a part of the IFC code requirements and when they maintain in a compliant manner, wouldn't that compliant manner need to be identified as the accesses?
So when they get to home number 31, there's gonna be a second access point required. At this point, when they're staying at 30, there's only one access point required. So I think based on what I'm hearing is what needs to happen on the second condition, is you just need to identify the road where that's going. I'm looking at what I see as a plat, I can't tell where that's proposed to go on this plat.
Right, do you have the final plat for 4B? Hopefully, can you?
I can't,
There was an example.
it's on a different computer.
Y'all had a map that was there, maybe it's close enough to maybe at least point out, and I could probably even tell you what my memory can recall, the name of the plat or the name of the street that it ties to, so.
Our original approvals had those conditions for it specifically.
So house number 31 will be in section B, correct?
So you know, not to confuse him, we may be talking 2 different things relative to this final plat and the overall development, right? So the overall development, the 2 points of access that have been agreed to is Smoot Lane and High Plains Trail off of 377. For this local final plat in 4B that's up here in the corner right now, as it sits, on this picture, I'm gonna walk over here, so maybe.
Yeah, we can.
But just so y'all can see, but this is the only paved accesses to this point right here to date. 4A, which is up here, it will provide another access point here and here, but it's not paved yet. They're about to. So they'll be paving at the beginning of the year. So what, you know, what we're looking at is until that other second point for this pod is actually paved to their, you know, that they're capped at 30 lots, but it shouldn't be an issue by that time. So.
In our original development agreement, it includes those stipulations that prevent timing for the whole development, correct?
Right, correct.
I think you're absolutely right. We just probably need to amend this and then move forward.
We just have, or we can add a condition to this, we can amend the second condition, right? Just to specify which roads he's talking, just name the roads. Is that correct?
Yes,
Smoot Lane.
yes, it just, it just needs to be identified, because what will happen next with these conditions, they will be required to come back and revise the plat and fix those conditions so that it can get filed. So we just need to, on the second condition, is
Whatever the roads were, the roads that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so it's, you know, either from the name, well, it's Tupelo Trail and Magnolia Lane. Yeah, so those are the 2 street connections.
What was the first one?
To Tupelo Trail and Magnolia Lane.
let's go back to the, all right.
What were the streets?
Tupelo Trails, TUPELO
PELO,
Trail and
Magnolia Lane.
I like those names.
And I'm sorry, when in that process of trying to get the plat, I did not hear a motion in the second. So who made the motion?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay. So
Still in discussion.
Gotcha.
So what we need to do when we make the motion is to, amend the second condition, correct? To identify those two roads.
Yes, so and then the second condition that the emergency access in and out of the site must be on those roads.
Okay.
And it must be in compliance with the applicable international fire code. So number two, just need to add
The two road locations. So. Well, first of all, are we just done with the discussion?
Yeah.
Who wants to make the motion?
I'll do it. Or this, I'll do it.
Okay,
Appreciate that.
thank you. Appreciate it.
I move that we approve the final plat for High Plains at First Ranch Phase 4B. With condition number one, that the town references updated to reflect town of Flower Mound, town of Argyle ETJ, town of Bartonville, or town of Bartonville ETJ, verification of jurisdiction locations on final plat. Second condition, the emergency access in and out of the site must be only from Tupelo Trail or Magnolia Lane and consistent or compliant with applicable IFC requirements and continuously maintain the compliant manner as required by Denton County ESD 1 and IFC. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Councilman. Would you please?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim. Thank you, Chief. Number two, discuss and consider approval of the resolution accepting the town's investment policy for fiscal year 2025, 2026. Staff presentation.
We reviewed the investment policy. We recommend no changes.
Leave status quo.
Anybody have a question?
I'll make a motion to approve a resolution accepting the town's investment policy for fiscal year 2025 to 2026.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Chief. Number three, discuss and consider approval of planning services agreement for on-call planning services between the town of Bartonville and Ratcliffe Planning Consultants LLC beginning January 1, 2026 through September 30th, 2026. And authorize the town administrator to execute the same on behalf of the town. Staff presentation, Kurt.
Mayor and council, as you're aware, Helen had to step down from her position. So the mayor, Shannon and I, we did interviews. We interviewed a couple of candidates and for this position, and based on the interviews and the resumes, recommending entering into an agreement for planning and zoning services with Ratcliffe Planning Consultants LLC. The firm offers extensive experience in municipal planning, zoning, and development review, and will provide professional planning support on an as-needed on-call basis, like all of our consultants provide. Ratcliffe Planning Consultants is led by Marcy Ratcliffe, who has over 30 years of experience in municipal planning and zoning. Ms. Ratcliffe previously served with the city of Kaufman for 14 years. Prior to her retirement in 2022, providing town with valuable knowledge and proven leadership. She also worked with L&E's firm and did some things actually for us. So she comes highly recommended, and proposing the agreement formalize the provisions of these services to ensure the town continues to receive professional assistance for development, reviews, zoning cases, and other planning related matters. Staff will be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding recommending her for replacing Helen.
Kirk, have you been through the interview process? That's good enough for me. How did the interview process go? Did you guys talk to a lot of different firms or?
Two. We did two of them.
We had two firms, there was a third, there were two that we did look at, and the resumes, the other one, one of the reasons we selected her is she does not have a lot of clients. And we prefer to utilize somebody that only focuses, she has, trophy club enough, and now she had a couple of other offers that she turned down, and asked her, are you gonna take on any more clients, because we wanted to have that, we wanted to have that attention to detail and be able to contact her when we needed her. She is retired, and we just, with her, we had a really good feel. Not that the other one wasn't qualified, he just retired from Pilot Point. And we had another third candidate that we were gonna look at if we, were in agreement to offer Marcy the position, so interviews went well.
So how does her proposed fees compare with what we approved in the budget and the previous?
They are actually less than what we were paying, they're $175, we were paying $225 an hour.
Okay.
We were also reduced, travel is 150 versus paying 2 hours of travel time. So the expense will be lower, but it does meet our $42,000 that we had budgeted. And every year we pay for 42,000 for this position, but it's less than what we were paying before.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, I want to trust your judgment, Shannon and the mayor's.
Thank you.
Yes.
And yes for me.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, planning services agreement for on-call planning services between the town of Bartonville and Planning and Consultants LLC, meeting January 1, 2026, through September 30, 2026, and authorize the town administrator to execute the same on behalf of the town. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Councilman. Closed session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, the county council will recess into closed executive session in accordance with the following, section 551.071. Number one, in consultation, number two, consultation with attorney, private consultation to seek advice of the town attorney about pending or contemplated litigation of settlement offer, and to consult with the town attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules, professional conduct, the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Claims and liabilities, intergovernmental agreements, time being 7:06.
All those.
We're good. I'm good.
All those.
Time being 7:55, we reconvene into open session. No action taken in the closed session tonight. Any future agenda items? What?
The mic's not.
Oh, I thought,
Hold on,
Sorry, I forgot that.
not yet.
is it on there? Yeah, it's on. Okay, thanks. Time being 7:55 we're reconvening into open session. No action taken in the closed session tonight. Any future agenda items? No. Nope. Good. Merry Christmas, everybody. Time being 7:55. Meeting adjourned.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.